we have officers watching over us, we have security measures in place all over the place, and then run away if something happens, hide if you can't run away, help somebody with you if you can. If you're really someone who's got a good, you know, you can take care of them, you're sneaking up behind them, drop them if you have to, but most of us are not the ones who should be doing that, so just run away if you can. There were too many things that happened last week, and it was horrible. You know, Muncie is like 5 minutes away from where I grew up. That's where I went to high school right near everything. So the Muncie Jewish bookstores know me. They're the ones who call me Reformadox. I think that that's a cool thing, but it hurts even more. It was Hanukkah, it was a rabbi's house, but there were more than 8 incidents last week of anti-Semitic attacks. And thank God we are okay. We're here, we're safe, and I'm glad we're here together. So I just want to say those things. I'm going to close this door now, and it'll keep us warmer, and it will start in a moment. Tim, I don't think our battery is on. It doesn't work very well with batteries. We're letting it off. I have power, but not that power. So, Shabbat Shalom, everybody. So there are many things that occur to us when we start a new year. It feels like there are things that we can do where we can kind of start afresh, it feels like a new beginning. And I hope that the things that you're focusing on for the new beginnings work out for you. You've heard my history of resolutions before. One year, my sons and I decided that we would try to make a resolution we could keep. So we decided we'd have more ice cream. And so we walked for ice cream, and we walked to an ice cream place, day 1, day 2, and I don't know if we ate ice cream again for the rest of the year. I couldn't even keep the resolution about eating more ice cream. That was bad. This year, I promised myself and my family that I would try to get 8 hours of sleep a night. And so far, I have kept part of that deal. I have slept 8 hours, but it's all year. It's not every night, it's just the whole year. So, and I was going to give you one other tidbit of information. For some reason, there's news reports saying that if you write the date down, that you should write out 2019, because if you just write 20, people could sneak behind there and write like whatever, 2020. See that? Yeah, I already blew my joke on that now. So if you write 2020 and not just 20, because people could sneak behind and write things like, I was going to say 19 there or 17 or whatever, sometimes it seems a little bit pushing things that it's really not going to change anything. If I, let's say, wrote a check, which is rare, but if I wrote a check and I wrote 20 and somebody wrote 17, yeah, there's nothing they could do about it. I'm not sure how that's going to help anything. But the first person I saw who had written that posted something on Facebook saying they heard that you should do 20 instead of just the 20. And I said, man, I was already getting used to writing 20 on all my checks. I'm not used to writing anything on my checks. But for whatever that's worth, if it's something that we figure out why it's a good idea, I let you know. I will be telling you about other things as well. And I am very glad that you're here. And I want to remind you that people come to gather together for many, many reasons. And some are happy and some are sad. And some are a little bit of both and comfort. And I am going to, before we light candles, before we welcome Shabbat officially, I'm going to turn the microphone over to one of our favorite current college students, Lauren Turner, who has a special message that she would like to share with you.
Hey guys, before I start, I did read about the 2020 thing, and what really stirred up the conversation about that was for immigrants, like more recently, when they fill out their census for the new year, that if they just write 20, there are some instances that have happened in the past where people just abbreviate things, and evil people will go behind and rewrite their citizenship status. So that's like a big reason. So, fun fact, learned from Facebook. So good evening, everybody. Before I start, I just want to cover some questions that you may have after I'm done. 1, college at Lafayette has been great. I was elected to be the freshman class president by my peers for the student government. Slow down. I'm excited.
I know, but take it slow. We want to hear what you have to say.
And 2, I've attended a religious service at Temple Shalom, and it was lovely. And 3, no, I'm not going hungry on a college student budget. But in all seriousness, though, earlier last week, I felt incredibly inspired to speak on something that's near and dear to my heart: time. It never seems like we can get enough time. Never enough time to finish that assignment that you've been pushing off for weeks. Never enough time to wake up early enough to eat breakfast. And never enough time to call and talk with old camp friends to talk about the best memories you had. On December 23rd, 2019, one of my sweetest and closest friends from the Quds camp passed away in a skiing accident. It was not his fault, as there was equipment left out by the resort on the course that he was on. I soon hope that something like this would never happen again anywhere, and I pray that they learn from their mistake. Aside from harboring on that, Matt Rosenstein was one of the goofiest, friendliest, and most easygoing guy you really could have ever met. He was an RA for Hill 5, the boys' cabin, which became the best friends of my cabin, Hill 1. So we really saw each other every single day. But I did realize it wasn't enough. Me and Matt had texted throughout the years after Quds 2016, followed each other on every social media platform, but still, it wasn't enough. At the time, Snapchat could not save photos or videos or selfies, so I have no pictures with him there. I can't find our last Shabbat picture together, but I do have one thing I am extremely grateful for. I have a recording of his laugh. I know some of you are thinking, that's pretty weird. But in the end, it wasn't. He told me I could record it, so when I'm feeling down about missing camp, I could always have that. And trust me, it definitely makes you feel better. It's super contagious. But looking back on my whole summer with Matt and the occasional texting after, it just wasn't enough. Matt had just turned 23 before he passed. The point of this, as you may have guessed, is that there's never going to be enough time, so you got to take advantage of the time you have now and use it to its full potential. Try to never have a dull moment with the people that you're with. Something I've truly taken for granted is our traditional, tell someone sitting next to you, Shabbat Shalom, and you may be seated. I sit next to my family, usually my grandparents, and practically grandparents such as Miss Harriet Glazer, and you may do the same. Let me ask you something though. When you say Shabbat Shalom, do you really mean it? Do you really look at someone in their face and take in the fact that you're here with them now, as we've had this time together in a time where there seems to be an incredible rise in anti-Semitic attacks around the world? I certainly take all of this for granted when I have to leave Shreveport and go back to Lafayette, and I don't want you to do the same. Take advantage of the time you have now with each other and really talk with them, take in the moments that we have. In closing, even if it's cheesy, I'm going to ask that everybody turns to their neighbor and gives them a hug and tells them Shabbat Shalom. Let them know you really care about them, that you'll always be there for them. It's really important. Thank you and Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom. Come here, hug. Thank you. So I always say, make sure you tell someone you came in with Shabbat Shalom and someone you didn't come in with. Tim, Shabbat Shalom. There are other bittersweet things about the story, and there is no Quds camp anymore. I grew up at Quds camp. Yeah, of course you may. Of course you may. I say that. I hope I say, I think you can have it. Go for it.
So I want to update everybody on the aftermath of Alexander's bar mitzvah from last May. And his mitzvah project at the time, if you remember, was collecting Lego kits. And soon after his bar mitzvah, we packed all those Lego kits, there was about 19 or 20 of them, into a couple of big suitcases. And I drove them to Austin, Texas, where my friend Effie Galed was from Israel. He was in the States, and he took those suitcases with the Lego kits and flew back to Israel with them. And in Israel, there was a man that was starting a mitzvah that was giving those Lego kits to kids that were at a hospital that were being treated for cancer. And he had started this program that he would visit the kids once a week and bring them these Lego kits, and they would have fun with them, and they'd have contests, and they would win a kit, and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And so we got word back that the day that the man took the Lego kits to the hospital, that there was one patient there that had not smiled all day long, and her father reported to us that as soon as she got the Lego kit, she smiled for the first time that day. And so we felt it was a very successful program.
Thank you. And that's always my theory, is that one hug at a time and one smile at a time, we can make the world a better place. So we now we turn to page, drum roll, we need to know which service we're doing. We're going to be doing service 2, and I think that you're going to understand why when you see the kinds of service, the kind of translations we have. Page 65, and I'm calling up Bubby and John to help us bless the candles and with the Kiddush. Would everyone else please rise? We're in this family together. Shabbat, take your time.
As these candles give light to all who behold them, so may we give light to all who behold us. As their brightness reminds us of the generations of Israel who have kindled light, so may we in our day be among those who kindle light. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav v'atzivanu hadlik neshel Shabbat. We praise you, eternal God, sovereign of the universe. You hallow us with your mitzvot and command us to kindle the lights of Shabbat. Let there be joy.
Let there be light.
Let there be peace.
Let there be Shabbat. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lehadlik ner shel Shabbat. We turn to pages 167 and 166 for the Kiddush.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei peri hagafen.
Amen.
We praise you, eternal God, sovereign of the universe, creator of the fruit of the vine.
Amen.
We praise you, eternal God, sovereign of the universe. You call us to holiness with the mitzvah of Shabbat, the sign of your love, a reminder of your creative work, and of our liberation from Egyptian bondage. Our day of days, on Shabbat especially, we hearken to your call to serve you as a holy people. We praise you, O God, for the holiness of Shabbat.
Amen. L'chaim. Guess what? You get another chance. Say Shabbat Shalom to someone you came in with and Shabbat Shalom to someone you didn't come in with. Look him in the eye and mean it. Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat Shalom. Make your way around. Make an effort. Mean it. We're going to go back to page 66, and you're welcome to be seated as we welcome Shabbat as if she were a bride. We continue on the bottom of page 67, or in the middle, I should say. O source of light and truth, creator of the eternal law of goodness and of the impulse within us for justice and mercy, we pray that this hour of worship may be one of vision and inspiration. Help us to find knowledge by which to live. Lead us to take the words we shall speak into our hearts and our lives.
Bless all who enter this sanctuary in search and in need,
all who bring to this place the offering of their hearts. May our worship here lead us to fulfill our words and intentions with acts of kindness, peace, and love.
Amen.
We have come together to strengthen our bonds with our people Israel. Like Jews of generations past, we celebrate the grandeur of creation. Like Jews of every age, we echo our people's ancient call for justice.
Our celebration is a sharing of memory and hope.
We are Jews, but each of us is unique. We stand apart and alone with differing feelings and insights, and yet we are not entirely alone and separate, for we are children of one people and one heritage.
Our celebration unites many separate selves into a single chorus.
And we are one in search of life's meaning. All of us know despair and exaltation. All bear burdens. All have moments of weakness and times of strength. All sing songs of sorrow and love.
May our celebration bring us strength along our way.
In this circle of hope, in the presence of the sacred, may the heart come to know itself and its best, finding a fresh impulse to love the good.
May our celebration lead us to work for the good, and may this Shabbat give strength to us and to our people Israel.
And we say how awesome it is for us to be here together. Hine ma tovu manaim, shevet achim gam yachad. Hine ma tovu manaim, shevet achim gam yachad. Hine ma tov, shevet achim gam yachad. Hine ma tov, shevet achim gam yachad. Hine ma tov u'manaim, shevet achim gam yachad. Hine ma tov u'manaim, shevet achim gam yachad. Many are the generations of Israel, and in every age we have sought the living God through Sabbath rest and worship. This time and place hold the power to increase our joy in the eternal. O God, even as we seek you in the sanctuary, help us to know that your glory fills all space. Make us understand that you are with us at all times if we but open our minds to you.
We feel the presence of your Spirit in our homes and on our ways. We see the beauty of your creation in mountain, sea, and sky, and in the human form. We hear you in the silence of our own hearts, speaking the truths the heart knows.
May we be your witness to the world, your messenger to all the earth.
May we show forth your image within us, the divine spark that makes us human.
יתגדל ויתקדש שמי רבה,
Amen.
בעלמא דברה חירותי וימליך מלכותי, בחייכון וביומכון ובחיי כל בית ישראל. בעגלה, בעגלה, ובזמן קריב, ואמרו אמן. יהא שמי רבה מברך, לעלם ולעלמי עלמיה, יתברך, יתברך וישתבח, ויתפאר ויתרומם ויתנשא, ויתהדר ויתעלה ויתהלל, שמי דקודשה בריחו, לעילם מן כל ברכתה ושירתה. תושבחתה ונחמתה, דאמירן בעלמא, ואמרו אמן. ברכו את אדוני המבורך,
Baruch Adonai HaMevorach Leolam Vaed.
As day departs, as the dark of night descends, we lift our eyes to the heavens. In awe and wonder, our hearts cry out.
Eternal God, how majestic is your name in all the earth.
A vast universe, who can know it? What mind can fathom it? We look out to the endless suns and ask, what are we? What are our dreams and our hopes? What are we that you are mindful of us? What are we that you should care for us?
And yet within us abides a measure of your spirit. You are remote, but oh, how near, ordering the stars in the vast solitudes of the dark, yet whispering in our minds that you are closer than the air we breathe. For you have made us little less than divine, and crowned us with glory and honor. With love and awe we turn to you, and in the dark of evening we seek the light of your presence.
One and only God, you have made each of us unique and formed us to be united in one family of life. Be with us, Eternal One, as we seek to unite our lives with your power and your love.
We proclaim now your oneness and our own hope for unity. We acclaim your creative power in the universe and in ourselves, the law that binds world to world and heart to heart. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Baruch Shem Kavod Malchuto Leolam Vaed.
You may be seated unless you're a guy who is in college right now. I said that she was one of our favorite college students, but we have another favorite college student who I didn't even know was going to be here tonight. So I'm going to have you help me lead this prayer because I love the way you do this, okay? We are on page 72. Here, you got it? I got it. Thank you. I know I put you on the spot. Looking good.
ואהבת את אדוני אלוהיך ובכל לבבך ובכל נפשך ובכל מאודך וחיו הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי מצווך היום על לבביך ושננתם לבניך ודיברת בם בשבתך בביתך ובלכתך בדרך ובשוכבך ובקומך וקשרתם לאות על ידיך והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותי והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם אני אדוני אלוהיכם אשר הוצאתיכם מארץ מצרים להיות להם לאלוהים אני אדוני אלוהיכם.
Thank you. We continue. You shall love your eternal God with all your heart, with all your mind, with all your being. Set these words which I command you this day upon your heart. Teach them faithfully to your children. Speak of them in your home and on your way, when you lie down and when you rise up. Bind them as a sign upon your hand. Let them be symbols before your eyes. Inscribe them on the doorposts of your house and on your gates. Be mindful of all my mitzvot and do them. So shall you consecrate yourselves to your God. I am your eternal God, who led you out of Egypt to be your God. I am your eternal God. In a world torn by violence and pain, a world far from wholeness, a world waiting still to be redeemed, give us, O source of good, the courage to say, Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad, there is one God in heaven and earth.
The high heavens declare your glory. May earth reveal your justice and your love.
From Egypt, the house of bondage, we were delivered. At Sinai, amid peals of thunder, we bound ourselves to your purpose. Inspired by prophets and instructed by sages, we survived oppression and exile, time and again overcoming the forces that would have destroyed us.
Our failings are many, our faults are great, yet it has been our glory to bear witness to our God and to keep alive in dark ages the vision of a world redeemed.
May the vision never fade. Let us continue to work for the day when the nations will be one and at peace. Then shall we sing with one accord, as Moses, Miriam, and Israel sang at the shores of the sea. Let there be love and understanding among us. Let peace and friendship be our shelter from life's storms. Eternal God, help us to walk with good companions, to live with hope in our hearts and eternity in our thoughts, that we may lie down in peace and rise up to find our hearts waiting to do your will.
We praise you, guardian of Israel, whose love gives light to all the world.
God of Israel, may our worship on this day help us to grow in our loyalty to our covenant with you and to the way of life it demands. What's that way? The way of gentleness and justice, the path of truth and of peace. Vishameru v'nei Yisrael ha-Shabbat La'asot et ha-Shabbat lidorotam berit olam Beini uvein b'nei Yisrael oti le'olam oti le'olam oti le'olam Vishameru v'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat La'asot et ha-Shabbat לדורותם ברית עולם. כי ששת ימים עשה אדוני את השמיים ואת הארץ ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. וביום השביעי שבת וינפש, שבת וינפש, שבת וינפש, ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. Would you read the meditation with me at the bottom of page 75? Prayer invites God to let the divine presence suffuse our spirits, to let the divine will prevail in our lives. Prayer cannot bring water to parched fields, nor mend a broken bridge, nor rebuild a ruined city. But prayer can water an arid soul, mend a broken heart, and rebuild a weakened will. Please rise for the tefillah, which begins on page 76. Adonai sifatai tiftach ufi yagid tehilatecha. Eternal God, open my lips that my mouth may declare your glory. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu v'Elohei avotenu v'imotenu, Elohei Avraham, Elohei Yitzchak, v'Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Leah, v'Elohei Rachel, Ha'el Hagadol, Hagibor v'Hanora, El Elyon, Gomer Chasadim Tovim, v'koneh hakol, v'zocher chasdei avot v'imahot, ומביא גאולה לבני בניהם, למען שמו באהבה, מלך עוזר ומושיע ומגן. ברוך אתה אדוני, מגן אברהם ועזרת שרה. Please join me at the bottom of page 76. Source of all being, we turn to you, as did our people in ancient days. They beheld you in the heavens. They felt you in their hearts. They sought you in their lives. Now their quest is ours. Help us, O God, to celebrate the wonder of being. Give us the courage to search for truth. Teach us the path to a better life. So shall we, by our lives and our labors, bring nearer to realization the great hope inherited from ages past, for a world transformed by liberty, justice, and peace. Your might, O God, is everlasting.
Help us to use our strength for good.
You are the source of life and blessing.
Help us to choose life for ourselves and our children.
You are the support of the fallen.
Help us to lift up the fallen.
You are the author of freedom.
Help us to free the captive.
You are our hope in death as in life.
Help us to keep faith with those who sleep in the dust.
Your might, O God, is everlasting.
Help us to use our strength for good.
You are Kadosh. Your name is Kadosh. And all who strive to be Kadoshim declare your glory day by day. Baruch atah Adonai, Ha'el HaKadosh. We praise you, Eternal One, the Holy God. ישמחו במלכותך, שומרי, שומרי, שומרי שבת, קורא עונג שבת. ישמחו במלכותך, שומרי, שומרי, שומרי שבת, קורא עונג שבת. מקדשי מקדש שבי שבת, כולם יספעו ויתענגו מטובך שבת. ישמחו במלכותך, שומרי, שומרי, שומרי שבת, קורא עונג שבת. והשביעי רצית בו וקידשתו שבת, חמדת ימים אותו קראת שבת. ישמחו במלכותך, שומרי, שומרי, שומרי שבת, קורא עונג שבת. זכר למעשה, למעשה וראשית שבת. זכר למעשה, למעשה וראשית שבת. ישמחו במלכותך, שומרי, שומרי, שומרי שבת, קורא עונג שבת. God of Israel, May our worship on this Sabbath bring us near to all that is high and holy. May it bind the generations in bonds of love and sharing, and unite us with our people in common hope and faith. And through Sabbath rest and worship, may we learn to find fulfillment and joy in the vision of peace for all the world. You are with us in our prayer, in our love and our doubt, in our longing to feel your presence and do your will. You are the still, clear voice within us. Therefore, O God, when doubt troubles us, when anxiety makes us tremble, and when pain clouds the mind, we look inward for the answer to our prayers. There may we find you, and there find courage, insight, and endurance. And let our worship bring us closer to one another, that all Israel and all who seek you may find new strength for your service. Eternal source of good, we give thanks for the numberless gifts and blessings that fill our days, for life itself and its endless variety, for all that sustains body and mind, for love and friendship, for the delights of the senses, and for the excellence of your Torah, which deepens our life and enriches our days. Teach us, God of wonders, to work for a just and compassionate society, where all may share your gifts in the joy of freedom. Grant us peace, your most precious gift, O eternal source of peace, and give us the will to proclaim its message to all the peoples of the earth. Bless our country, that it may always be a stronghold of peace and its advocate among the nations. May contentment reign within its borders, health and happiness within its homes. Strengthen the bonds of friendship among the inhabitants of all lands. And may the love of your name hallow every home and every heart. We praise you, O God, the source of peace.
Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha Tasim Le'olam. Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha Tasim Le'olam. Ki ata hu melech adon lechol hashalom. Ki ata hu melech adon lechol hashalom. Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha Tasim Le'olam. Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha Tasim Le'olam. V'tov enecha levarech et Amcha Yisrael bechol עת ובכל שעה בשלומך. Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha Tasim Le'olam. Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha Tasim Le'olam. Tasim Le'olam. Tasim Le'olam.
I know that there are some prayers in your heart that you can say right now that can help. Please pray. יהיו לרצון.
May the words of my mouth
אמרי פי והגיון ליבי
and the meditations of my heart
לפניך.
be acceptable to you.
לפניך.
Be acceptable to you.
אדוני צורי.
God, my rock,
צורי וגואלי.
my rock and my redeemer.
אדוני צורי
God, my rock
וגואלי.
and redeemer.
At this point in our service, our hearts and our prayers turn to those who are ill or recuperating. We turn to the inside back cover of the prayer book, and I'm going to invite you to call out names for whom you would like us to be praying for healing. For all these names, for the names we hold in our hearts and choose not to say out loud, we pray together. Oh God, in our hearts we name those who are facing illness and pain. We join our prayers with the prayers of all who love them. Give them renewed comfort and courage. Strengthen in them the healing powers you have placed within us all. Guide the hands and hearts of those who are entrusted with their care. May the knowledge of your love and ours give added hope to them and to their dear ones. May they find even greater strength because our prayers are linked to theirs. Baruch atah Adonai, Rofeh HaCholim. We praise you, eternal God, the source of healing and health. And we just sent a lot more troops out there, and we have sent a lot more first responders out there. And so we say, Misheberach avotenu v'imotenu, may the one who blessed and protected our ancestors guard all those whom we have entrusted with the responsibility of defending our freedom and protecting us. In this country, in the land of Israel, and everywhere they've been called to serve, give them courage to succeed and strength to persevere. May they return home safely, and let us say. So I want to thank Lauren for requesting to be able to speak, to tell us something that's such an important message about acknowledging how important time is. It's a blessing when you realize that there are people around that you need to acknowledge and hug. And it's a blessing to have people in your life that inspired you so much. And I'm sorry about your loss. Last week when I was talking to you, I didn't know we were going to lose Teddy Cranston. There are people in our lives. And as my friend over here says, life is good. And we have to remember to keep telling each other that. And I can't tell you how much I appreciate that message, especially as we start new things. And I think that the Torah portion this week reminds us about that a little bit. It reminds us that family is important. The Torah portion is about Joseph and Benjamin finally getting to be together, and how the brothers were. One of the wonderful things about the brothers is that they all improved. They learned how to be better brothers, and that's a blessing. That sometimes it takes a while before we figure this out. Sometimes it takes crisis, or in their case it was starvation and things, but they pulled together and they became a family unit again in the end, and that's a blessing. And it's especially when times are hard that we need to come together. So I looked at the sky a lot today, and I saw some magnificent things. Did you see the sunset coming in today? It was just amazing, astounding, and colorful. And I love life, and I feel happy. And then I unfortunately look at news, and I feel worried, and I am blessed that I am capable of feeling both. And I am blessed that we're here together to make it through, because I think that that's what it takes, is all of us working together. We will, in a moment, celebrate birthdays and anniversaries, and what a great thing it is to be able to celebrate birthdays and anniversaries, and some of the things that we do in our community. I'm doing another Together Tuesday. It winds up being a very powerful thing after horrible incidents go on in the world, when we get together and we solidarity. I mean, sometimes we talk, and sometimes we sing, and sometimes we pray, and sometimes we do all of that. And it's a blessing to be with lots of people who are, I think I've told you this over and over again. I love being here with you because we have so much in common. And I love being with people that I have nothing in common with, because it's getting to know that we're getting along. When we have nothing in common is sometimes an awesome blessing as well. So, having said all that, Mr. President, I already stole some of your thunder by telling you about one of the things on your teeny tiny. I'm so glad. Look at this. I just want you to see. Look, there's almost no writing on this. It doesn't mean we're not busy. It just means you already know what we're doing.
We're always happy to be here with you, Rabbi.
Thank you.
Shabbat Shalom, and Happy New Year to everybody. Thank you to Sheila and Jon for the blessings. Again, we will celebrate everyone's birthday and anniversary shortly. No religious school this Sunday. There will be Hebrew school Wednesday, and religious school will meet a week from Sunday. Together Tuesday, we'll meet this coming Tuesday, January 7th, 6 p.m. at Baba Express, Shreveport Barksdale Highway. And a week from tomorrow, Saturday, January 11th, will be Kiddush Shabbat. Service for children, 9 to 9:30. Please note, we are closed for the office renovation, but the office is still in the Federation office in the religious school wing. There will be more details online and in the January bulletin that you should have.
It's there.
Today.
It's out. You got it. It either came in your
Yes.
mailbox or it's in your email.
Donations were made to B'nai Zion for pulpit flowers in loving memory of Hilda Levi and Gwen Murov by Susan Murov, in loving memory of Harold Murov by Carolyn Murov and family, and in loving memory of Lazar Murov by Ruthie Neerman and family. Thank y'all.
Thank you. I continue to just pray that we make sure that we get to each live in a world where we don't ever have to be afraid of being who we are. That's really important. I count on all of you to make sure that we get to be who we are, that each person here gets to be who they are, and we keep teaching each other to be there for each other, not hurting each other. And I'm going to ask one other thing, and I mean this. So, where'd she go? We have a little one who's coming, and she was making so much noise that I guess she went away. And I appreciate that, but I also know that if we don't have a little bit of wiggling in our sanctuary when little kids come, they'll never love being here. I mean, I remember Lauren wiggling a lot when she was young, and she's already admitted that now that she's at college, when nobody's forcing her to come, she's going to services on her own and participating in Jewish things. And so it's part of what we've got to figure out how to do this, how to make it so that everybody feels welcome and everybody feels like this is where they belong. And trying. Meanwhile, one of the ways we're going to do that is celebrating birthdays, anniversaries. I need 4 people to hold polls. I need everybody with birthdays and anniversaries to come in and stand under the polls. And if you have a birthday or anniversary, if you have birthdays and anniversaries, then you get to choose from the basket of gifts. That's okay. you get to choose from the coffee mug, which is in the box, or the travel mug, which is in the not box. Take which one you want. And there's more. If you didn't get the one you wanted, did you get? That's the one you want? Yeah. Take. That's the same thing. Yeah, it's just in the box. It's easier to transport. No, that's so good. That's why it's out. All right, I'm sticking this here. I'm grabbing this. I keep losing my earpiece today. God of days and years, author of life, our times are in your hand. We thank you for the blessing of life and for all that enriches our lives. We gather today in special thankfulness to share in the happiness of our friends. Be with them always as the joy of their life. May they be blessed with health and happiness and with the strength to overcome sickness and sorrow. May we have the joy of coming together for many more years, united by mutual reverence and love. Then will our lives be filled with abundance of blessing. And we say together, Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, shehecheyanu, v'kiyamanu, v'higianu lazman hazeh. We praise you, God, because you gave us life, you sustained us, and you enabled us to reach this special season. You may be seated. I'm going to let the ones who are under 13 come on up and help me with the ark. Everybody else turns to page 148. Come on. And gets ready to rise. Page 148. We're coming up. Thank you. That's it. Okay, we got this. 148. Please rise when the ark is open. Aleinu l'shabeach la'adon hakol, latet gedula liotzer breshit, shelo asanu kegoye ha'aratzot, v'lo samanu k'mishpachot ha'adama, shelo sam chelkenu kahem, v'goralenu kechol hamonam, va'anachnu משתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא. And when the ark is closed, I invite you to please be seated. We continue on page 150. The day will come when all shall turn with trust to you, O God, hearkening to your voice, bearing witness to your truth. Please join me. We pray with all our hearts. Let violence be gone. Let the day come soon when evil shall give way to goodness, when war shall be forgotten, and all at last shall live in freedom. O source of life, may we, created in your image, embrace one another in friendship and in joy. Then shall we be one family, and then shall your sovereignty be established on earth, and the word of your prophet fulfilled. The eternal God will reign forever and ever. On that day, O God, you shall be one, and your name shall be one. Bayom hahu, bayom hahu, yeh Adonai echad. Ushemo, Ushemo, Ushemo echad. I feel very blessed to be able to tell you that there are no deaths to report this year. I realize the year is young, and I pray that it continues with this report every week, week after week. But imagine a world where we can continue and not have any reports of deaths for our military or our police officers or our firefighters or even our canine officers, that we could live in a world where those people who are there to defend us get to come home to their families. I feel very grateful and blessed for that right now. We continue on page 151. Our thoughts turn to those who have departed this earth, our own loved ones, those whom our friends and neighbors have lost, the martyrs of our people, and those of every race and nation whose lives have been a blessing to humanity. As we remember them, let us meditate on the meaning of love and loss, of life and death. And I'm going to invite you to take a few moments of silence to remember those people you want to remember. We remember those who died this past week in senseless, violent situations. We remember those who died who have no one left to remember them. We take a moment of silence. However brief may be our time on earth, O God, you endow our fleeting days with abiding worth. We now recall the loved ones whom death has taken from us this past month. We remember Teddy Cranston, Clydell Miles. We remember congregants' parents who died within the past year. We remember Claire Anthony, Lucy Branis, Isabel Posner, Carol Ginsberg, Johnny Engelbert, and Dean Thomas Pratt. And as we remember those who died at this season in years past, we take them into our hearts with our own. Those for whom we're observing Yortzites this past week include Louis M. Bodenheimer, Bertha H. Cheatham, Dr. Norman N. Fine, Etta Fryer, Sylvan Gam, Edith Gerson, Rabbi Ronald Myron Goldstein, Arnold Hermer, Herman Harold, Sidney Harold, Fred Holman, Jack Katzenstein, Hilda Levi, Bill Mantenband, Naomi Murov, Lazar Murov, Joseph Murov, Harold Murov, Gwen Murov, Stella Phillips, Lillian Strug Rambach, Bobby Redstone, Alexander Rifkin, Hyman Schuster, Sarah Schuster, Horace Simon Sr., Lucille Stern, Harold Straussman, and Charles Yellen. In this moment of memory, our griefs and sympathies are mingled. Loving God, we rise as together we praise your name. The Mourner's Kaddish is found on page 154. Yitgadal v'yitkadash shemei Rabbah, be'alma divra chirutei v'yamlich malchutei, b'chayechon u'v'yomechon u'v'chayei d'chol beit Yisrael, ba'agala u'v'zman kariv v'imru amen. Yehe shemei Rabbah mevarach le'alam u'lalmei almaya. Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitramam v'yitnaseh v'yithadar v'yitaleh v'yithalal shmei dekudsha b'richu le'elam min kol birchata v'shirata tushbechata v'nechemata da'amiran be'alma v'imru amen. Yehe shalama rabba min shemaya v'chaim aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. Oseh shalom b'maromav Hu Ya'aseh Shalom, Aleinu va'al Kol Yisrael, V'imru Amen. May the source of peace send peace to all who mourn and comfort to all who are bereaved. Amen. Please be seated. I'm going to call up those of you who are under 13 who want to help us with our challah. Meanwhile, we're going to sing that we hope we have a Shabbat of peace. Bim bam, bim 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 bam, bim 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 bam. Bim bam, bim 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 bam, bim 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 bam. Shabbat shalom, Shabbat shalom, Shabbat 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 shalom, Shabbat shalom, Shabbat shalom, Shabbat 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 shalom. Nice. Whoa, it's escaping. Ready? Hamotzi lechem min haaretz. We give thanks to God for bread. Our voices rise in song together as our joyful prayer is said. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam Hamotzi lechem min haaretz b'te'avon. I get the plate, you get the bread. Take it, make sure everybody gets. Of the three of you at least, share it if you want, but there's more for everybody else up there when we join our special Shabbat birthday, Oneg Shabbat. Be proud of who you are. I'm proud of who you are. I am glad to be part of who you are, of this family that we are. And please rise for the closing benediction. Yivarechecha Adonai v'yishmerecha. May God bless you. May God protect you. Yair Adonai panav elecha v'choneka. May the light of God's face shine upon you and be gracious to you. Yisa Adonai panav elecha v'yasem lecha shalom. May God's face always look up to you. May God grant you peace. Shabbat shalom. Shabbat, 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 Shabbat shalom. Shabbat, 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 Shabbat.